Hello everyone, welcome back to CodeStorm. In this video, we will learn how to write unit test for Spring Boot's controller layer using MockMVC. As you may know, Spring Boot applications typically consist of three main layers. One is controller, second is service, and third one is repository. Controller is the entry point where service handles the business logic and repository interacts with our data store. Today, we will focus on writing unit test for the controller layer. So I have created around 5 methods for testing in our controller class. The first one is to test a simple string returning directly from controller itself. Second example is to test simple string returning from our service class. And the third example is to test accepting input from query param. And the fourth one is accepting input through request body. Finally, we will also be accepting file from the request. Also notice the annotations being used here. At the top, there is a REST controller and there is a request mapping where I pass the base path as /API/v1/test. This is a constructor injection of our service layer, service class. Now let's uncover the test class behind this controller. Focus on these annotations at WebMvcTest. This annotations focuses on Spring MVC components, which means it specifically targets and tests Spring MVC components like controllers, views, message converters, and more. Also, it helps us in faster test execution because it disables full auto configuration. If we use annotations like Spring Boot test, which starts the entire application context, WebMvcTest only loads the necessary beans for testing MVC components. It automatically includes specific beans such as controller, controller advice, and few more, and it excludes major beans such as component, service, and repository to isolate testing only with the MVC layer. As I said, it will help us in faster test execution and better test coverage. So that is the reason why I have used WebMvcTest, and we need to pass our controller class. Now focus on this MockMVC. This is the main entry point if we need to perform HTTP request through test classes. Now I am back to my controller class. Now let's jump into the first method, which tests simple string returning directly from the controller itself. I have not used any service class to return the string, but I am returning a string directly from the controller itself. This is not the right way to use the controller layer, but I'm just using it to explain better with a simple example. So I've considered this method. To write the test case using MockMVC, we need to focus on 6 things here. First one being, what is the HTTP method request? So in this case it is get. And the second one is, what is the request path? And the third one is, what is the return type? So it is response entity of string, which means the return type is string wrapped inside a response entity. Fourth one is, what is the input we are passing using a request body or a query param? And the fifth one is, what is the HTTP response status code? And finally, what is the HTTP response body? Here OK means status 200. So when we start with writing the JUnit MockMVC test case, first it will be a good practice to note down what should be the input and output. So in this case, as there is no input, I've considered only output. So now let's go to our test class. In this example, as I said, as there is no input for our request, I am just noting down output here. If we add an input, we should also write down what should be the input of it. So I am using MockMVC to perform a HTTP request. So in our case, what is the HTTP request which we saw? It is get mapping. So I'm using get. This is the base path which I have used in my controller layer at the top. And this is the get mapping request which I have used at the method level. So this perform method performs the HTTP request and allows us to perform multiple assertions. So what should be the status of the HTTP request? What should be the response body of the HTTP request which we perform? So all those we can assert, which means we can validate. So in this case, as it is a simple string, I will be validating two things: whether the request which we performed here the HTTP request which we performed here, the status is OK, which means status 200, and the response body should equal to the string, whatever we passed here. As the return type is string, we are directly writing it as string, but when it is a request body, this would look different. I will show in the next examples, but for now, just let's focus only on this part. Now let's run this test case. As you notice, the first test case has passed successfully. Now let's go back to our controller layer, and this is the second method where I'm testing the string from our service layer. So just imagine this is a service class which performs some operations and return as a string. So I'm not using any business logic here, as it is just the testing for controller layer. So just imagine this service performs some business logic and returns the string. 6 things, just remember the 6 things I said. Get mapping, the path, the return type, input, there is no input. What is the HTTP response code? What should be the HTTP request body? So we already know what are the values for it. If you mainly differentiate the previous JUnit method, the only difference is this service layer, where we are completely mocking this business logic. As I said, as there is no input, we have not written any input statement here. Directly we are writing the output statement. Again, we are using MockMVC to perform HTTP GET request for this selected path. And what should be the response of it? Status 200. And what should be the response body for the request? It's only string which contains our output. Let's run this test case and see whether it passes or fails. As expected, the second test case also passes. Now let's go into the third example where I'm accepting the input as a request param, and it is a post mapping. The path is /save. The return type is string, but this time there is an input in our method, and fifth one is again it is HTTP OK, which means status 200. And what is the response body which are accepting? It is string again. This is the MockMVC test case for the method explained now. As you notice, we have added the string input this time. So what should be the input? And the second statement is what should be the output. Third line is mocking the behavior of business logic, that is service layer. If you notice, I've used any string. So this is a preferred way to pass the data when we are mocking a particular service layer. So test one is mock bean. So when we use mock for a service layer, the preferred way to pass the elements inside to that mock layer is not the actual value. Instead, we need to pass Mockito's any string, any double, any int, any float, etc. And then return means what is the output which we are expecting once that method is successfully executed. So when this service1.saveData is executed, what are we expecting? A string, right? So we need to pass what will be the output from that particular method. And finally, we are performing post HTTP request with the path. So this is a param, which means we need to include a input data this time. So till now, in previous examples, there was no input data in our test cases. But if you want to include a particular request param, we need to use param like this and pass the key name and what should be the value. So the key name is data. Where do we get the data? We will get from our controller the variable name. So once we perform a post request for this URL with this param, what are we expecting? We are expecting the status code to be 200 and the response type is string, and inside the string the request body should be in this format. Why I've used this format is in our business logic, that is our service class, I am returning a string in the same format. So it will be a good practice to use the same format in test class also. So I'm just using the same format and verifying whether we are getting the output as expected. The third unit test case has also passed. Now let's go to the fourth example in our controller layer. Here, HTTP request type is post and the path is save employee. The return type is employee wrapped inside a response entity. Fourth one is what is the input. So we have an input this time as well, that is employee. Fifth one is what should be the response HTTP status code. So this is another way to write the response entity instead of the above way. So in this case, we are using http status dot create instead of OK. Whenever we save a particular data into a DB, it's considered to be a good practice to use created. And finally, what is the response body which we are expecting, that is employee. So in this example, employee contains ID, name and age, and I've used record instead of our traditional class which contains constructors, getters and setters. So as this is a simple DTO, I'm using this record instead of our traditional class. If you have getters and setters, it behaves the same way, but the only difference is I've used records. This is our test class for the same method. So we know what should be the input, right? It's a request body which is of type employee. So I've created a employee input type, and just see this, the ID is null as of now. So whenever we pass the request body or inserting a new value into the DB, it will be null, right? So I've just replicated the same behavior. And what should be the output of it? So output is a random UID will be generated after our business logic, that is a database layer, and it will be the same name and same age. So this is mocking the behavior of business logic or a service class, where I'm calling this test service one mock, which is of type mockbin dot save employee. In the previous example, I explained any string, right? Any string, but in this case we are using any because it is of a custom class, and then return. So what should this particular save employee service class method should return? Employee. So we need to respond with what should be the output after the business logic is completed. So I'm performing the HTTP request. This time also it is a post, and we are passing the path. As we are performing a post request with the request body, we can't directly pass this input over here. We need to convert it into a JSON format and then pass the value to our request. So in order to convert our input to a JSON format, I'm using this object mapper dot write value as string. Once we perform the request with post to this path and to this request body, and the type is media type dot application JSON, we are expecting the status to be created this time and not OK. Once we verified that response type is created, that is 201, I'm also verifying this 3 individual fields. So this is the output for the same test case. If you see $.id, just think that $. Is a root, and after that ID is the field name is a field name, and age is a field name. So this JSON path is of MockMVC result matchers. So where I am matching this field, that is ID, and expecting that value should be the same as we have passed at the top, that is UUID. So in this case, $.id should equals this random UUID generator, which is generated for our output, and the name should be same as output John, and the age should be same as which we have passed inside our output. And we can also perform one more validation of what is the type of this particular field. So in this case, $.age is a number, so we can validate not only the value but also the type of that particular value as well. Finally, let's jump into this last method where it is a post mapping, but here I am accepting this multi-part file instead of a request body. So how to write the test case for this? So in this case, usually we call a service class, and inside the service class we will do some read or write operations. As it is only for the unit test case, I have not written that logic. So just imagine that it goes inside a particular service layer and returns us the data read successfully, data returned successfully, or whatever the path we have placed the file into. So in order to mock the multi-part, Spring Framework provides us this mock multi-part file where we can write the name of a file, original file name, what is the type of the file, and this should be the content of the. So in this case, I'm just validating what is the file's original name. So when we run this particular test case, we should get hello text as original file name. So that's the reason why I'm expecting this hello.txt over here. So again, we are performing, this time it is a multi-part request. Multi-part is nothing but a post as HTTP method. As we want to use the file, we need to use multipart instead of post. So if we use post, like other examples, we will not be able to use file. So the preferred way is to use multipart. And once the request is made, what are we expecting? The status again to be 200 and the name, the original file name should be hello.txt. Test case for multipart file has also passed. So only difference is we need to use multipart instead of a post or a get because we need to use file as an input. Now let's see the code coverage for our controller class. So if you're thinking how to generate the test coverage, go to the test class, click on this button and run this test with coverage. So if you see, the test controller 1 is completely covered with 100%. We'll go to this test controller 1 and we'll just validate that all the methods are green, which means it is covered. Other important things are, let's say if you want to test the negative scenario, that is bad request, instead of dot is okay, we can just use is bad request. And similarly, whatever the error which you want to test. And let's say along with the content, that is request body, if you also have a request param, we can just use param key name and the value. So this param we have already used in the previous example, right? We can just use in the same way, that is param key name and the value. So if you want to use both the request body and param, we need to use in this manner.